Hello guys, this is going to be the part 2 of the scholarship videos that I've been doing, and here I'm going to talk about 3 main scholarships and how to apply for them. I'm going to start from the beginning of the application to the end of the application. All right, but it's going to be a very long video, so I want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and you can have the full video there. I'm going to talk about 3 scholarships. The first one is the Excellence Scholarship Program. The second one is the Anvadaban Scholarship, and then the third one is the African Scholarship Program. Now, in my last video, I told you about 3 broad categories of scholarships that you need to look out for, which is the one from the Dutch government, one from your own country, and the one from the universities. These 3 scholarships that I am talking to you about are specifically to the Wageningen University and Research, so you only find them on the Wageningen University and Research portal. Now, for each of these scholarships, you can, or all of the scholarships, you cannot apply to them directly. You need to get admitted to the university to a master's program before you'll be able to you'll be invited to participate in the scholarship competition. And this is why you need to have a strong application, right? You need to have a strong master's application when you are making your application so that you'll be invited. However, if you want to know that you would be invited, the first thing is you should have been graduated with the first class, because it requires you a GPA of 80% and above, and which would be like 3.6 and above GPA for those whose GPA are over 4. I think it's a little bit higher for those whose GPA are over 5, or those who are in schools with GPA over 5. Also, you should be a citizen of a country outside the European Union or the European Economic Area, which includes Switzerland, right? So you should be, and most importantly, you should have applied to a master's program before the 1st of February. At least that was the requirement for this year. You should have applied to a master's program and gain admission before the 1st of February. And the admission should be unconditional. One thing I want you to know is that for most schools in the Netherlands, for many of them now, they require English language proficiency, so you would have to write that and apply. Now, what happened is that many people start the application to schools in the Netherlands, and then they don't even know where to go, because for the Netherlands, applying to any school, you need to go through one system. All the schools are in one system, which is called the Study Link. The Study Link, you open it, and then you will be asked if you have a digital ID, which is digit in. And for most people from Africa, you don't have a digital ID. You only get a digital ID when you are living in the Netherlands. So you say no. So you log in, or you create an account without a digital ID, which would allow you to access all the schools in there. And then you now select the course that you want to apply for. Then you apply for. Now, once you are doing this, make sure that all the requirements, the necessary requirements, are in there. You know that most of the schools don't ask you, or it's not compulsory to write a statement of purpose, but it is encouraged for you to write. And in fact, if you want to be considered for a scholarship, then you need to write a statement of purpose, because frankly speaking, they want to see you as being smart, not only through academics, but also because there are people who get first class and they are not paid, right? So you have to also, in your statement of purpose, indicate that you are committed to a certain course, and it could be a research course, it could be a societal program course, whatever it is that you want to address and why you need the funding would be in there. Please don't make the mistake of trying to project yourself as being poor, and because I already told you, most scholarships in the Netherlands are not for poor students. They are not saying they are for brilliant and needy students. No, they are for brilliant students. It's not for brilliant and needy. They are for intelligent and smart students, right? So your father could be the president of Ghana or the president of Nigeria. If you're smart, you can be selected for the scholarships, and you could be as poor as whatever it is. If you're not smart, you will not be selected for the scholarship. Okay, so once you create a Study Link account, now you you can now apply to the schools. You upload all your documents. So what happens with these scholarships is that you would be invited after you've gotten admission, unconditional admission before a certain time, and then from there you will get into a scholarship competition, right? So you need to meet these criteria. You should be a citizen outside the European Economic Area and Switzerland as well. And then, so you should be outside this area and Switzerland. And then you must have completed or application to one of the Wageningen programs, and you should have unconditional admission offer, and then you should have a first class GPA, right? For all the three scholarships that I'm mentioning here, which is the Excellence Scholarship, for the Anvadaban Scholarship, and for the ASP Scholarship. For the Excellence Scholarship, it is open to all people from all over the world, except the European Economic Area. For the Anvadaban Scholarship, is also open to people mostly from developing countries or underdeveloped countries. And for the African Scholarship Program, unfortunately, it is only for people from Africa. That is limiting to people from Africa. But what happened is that once you are invited for any of these scholarships, you are considered, most especially if you are invited for African Scholarship Program, you are considered for both African Scholarship Program and then the Anvadaban Scholarship Program as well, because the recruitment process is the same. They will be based on your motivation letter and whatever it is, and then they would invite you. They will recommend you to be in one of them of the scholarships when you are selected. Now, this is how the process goes. Once you are selected and called to participate in the competition and you accept to participate in the competition, the first phase usually they send an essay. It could be the other way around as well, where you would have an interview first, but now they send an essay for you guys. You write an essay. So every year they come up with essay questions. You write the essay, and then the second, so based on the essays, people will be dropped, right? So you need to write a very strong essay. Now, I want you to subscribe to our channel because I'm going to share samples of essays, that winning essays that got in there over time, right? So you write your essay, and then once the essay is written, people will be dropped, others will be invited to continue, and then you have interviews. Usually the interviews is the last stage of it, and then you have to answer your interviews with confidence. Then final people will be selected, and then when you are selected, you will receive your letter confirming the scholarship that you got. What happened is that in the letter they will tell you which of the scholarship that was given to you. Okay, so one thing to note is that you cannot apply for the scholarship. You would be invited to participate in it. Okay, now another thing, so I'm going to the African Scholarship Program, right? So for the African Scholarship Program, it's also the same application processes, but this is for Africans. And what is in it? For 24 months, you will get a living allowance. I think now the living allowance is around 1,200 euros per month, and they will pay your tuition fee, your tuition coverage. You have a visa costs. They will buy your visa for you. Or they will apply for the visa for you actually. So you don't even need to apply for the visa yourself. They will apply for the visa for you, and they will take care of your health insurance, and then once you get you are picked. Okay, so they do all those things for you once you are picked. Also, your flight ticket to and out of the Netherlands will be booked for you, right? So once you are coming in, they'll book your flight ticket for you, and once you are done, you also be booked. That's one. Again, you must be an African, or you must come from an African country. It doesn't matter where you're living. You have submitted a complete application to one of the Wageningen programs, so make sure that you meet the admission requirement for the Wageningen program. You've gotten an unconditional admission, and you're also a first class student, and preference will be given to students who have not obtained a master's degree yet. So it does not mean that if you have a master's degree you cannot apply. You can apply for it. I know somebody who I came with on the same scholarship who had his first master's degree from China, right? But then people who are yet to get master's degree will be preferred, right? So that is and one thing is that you should only apply for this scholarship only if you meet, or I mean you don't get to apply, you'll be selected anyway, so you'll only be invited only if you meet all the criteria above. There are no exceptional exceptions made. Okay. So that is what it is. Also for that one you need to have gotten an admission by February, right? By February. All MSc applications that have been submitted before the deadline will be assessed. Okay, so all the you should have had your submission by 1st of February, right? You should have made your application by 1st of February. And what happened is that on the 7th of May, all the results come in. If you do not receive an email by the 1st of April, it means that you are no longer being considered for the ASP scholarship. And before they were also considering people who applied in September, but they don't do it anymore. So make sure that you apply for the February application opening. Okay, for the last one, which is the Anvadaban scholarship, is what I want to touch on. So for Anvadaban scholarship, you should also be coming from developing countries. So it doesn't matter if you're from China, if you're from Asia. If so far as you are in a developing country, you can get in, and you should have unconditional admission, right? What happened with the Anvadaban scholarship is that sometimes they relaxes it, so you don't have to be a first class student fully, but most people are first class students. If you are selected as a non-first class student, it means that you are very exceptional. You are very exceptional. And they have full and partial scholarship as well, so people can get all their school fees paid for them. School fees in the Netherlands is very expensive for internationals. You have to pay 23,000 euros. So if you have it paid for you, then it means that what you're looking for the remaining is your stipend. But also some people get like the full scholarship, where I was on the Anvadaban scholarship. I'm a first class student, so I had all my stipend paid for, and my school fees also paid for, and it was really nice. They will also give you money to buy a laptop once you are here, your flight will be booked, and all those things. And we have the NL scholarship, which offers about 10,000 to 15,000 euros to scholarship to people. It is not a full scholarship. That is one thing you need to know about the NL scholarship. This is a quick one. The cost of living visa are not covered. They're just giving you a sum of 10,000 euros or 15,000 euros. So if, for instance, you don't get any of the other scholarships, that one you can apply for it. As for that one, you can apply for directly. You are not invited, but you have to be in a certain area. You should be coming from South Africa, Argentina, Brazil, Canada, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Cuba, Ecuador, Guatemala. Like, there are certain countries, right, that are in there. I think the only African country that qualifies for the NL scholarship is the South Africa. Right, it's South Africa, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it is South Africa. It is the only one that is qualified for the NL scholarship. So guys, these are 4 scholarships. I always say that I'm gonna give you something less and I give you more. These are 4 scholarship opportunities that you want to look out for. What I'm going to do in the next one is I'm going to go through the application process. No, I described it in this video, but in my next video what I'm going to do would be to kind of start the application itself, and for you to see I walk you through all the application itself. So if you want that, please comment below the section that I want the full video, and then I'll send them to you. Once I do that video, I'll make sure to copy you in those kind of videos. Thank you for sticking around.